Shalom. This week's Sedra is Sedra Ki Tavoh. The mitzvah of the first fruits is a mitzvah that seems simple to understand at first, but great meaning is found in its details. The Torah says, when you enter the land that your God is giving you as a heritage, and you possess it and settle in it, you shall take some of every first fruit of the soil, which you harvest from the land that your God is giving you, put it in a basket, and go to the place where your God will choose to establish his name, Yerushalayim. You shall go to the Kohen in charge at that time and say to him, I acknowledge this day before your God that I have entered the land that God swore to our fathers to assign us. In his commentary to this verse, the Ramban helps us understand what the different phrases of this verse teach us. He explains that the mitzvah is to take your first fruits and declare it to be the first fruits that you will bring. Then you shall put it in a basket that is worthy of being brought to the temple. Lastly, it is brought to the temple, and it is not allowed to be brought to private temples or altars. Each of the three phrases speaks to an integral part of the offering of the first fruits. The first fruits are the most valuable to a farmer. After working hard to produce a field of fruit, the first fruits are the first sense of accomplishment that the farmer can take pride in. God commands the farmer to take the first fruits, and give them away. There are many times the Torah forbids a person from using fruit or different foods and vegetables, but in the case of the first fruits, it isn't enough for the fruits to be forbidden. The farmer must take them to someone else. Taking the first fruits and giving them away is a greater level of dedication to God's word. There's nothing glorious about schlepping. If one examines the entire process of the first fruits, the bringing of the first fruits from the field to the temple would seem to be the least consequential. You're just schlepping them. This makes the Ramban's emphasis on using a worthy basket to bring the fruits to Jerusalem surprising. The basket plays an integral role in bringing the first fruits specifically because it would normally be overlooked. By ensuring that the smallest detail is paid attention to, the entire process of the first fruits is made more meaningful. For those of us who live in a suburb of Yerushalayim, like I do here in Mitzvah Yericho, bringing the first fruits to the Temple Mount isn't such a burden. But for those who live in the center of the country, or in its most northern, that way, or southern, that way, borders, bringing your first fruits all the way to Jerusalem requires a great deal of efforts. God's insistence that the first fruits be brought to Jerusalem itself demonstrates the need for great effort in observance of this mitzvah. The bringing of the first fruits is a complex mitzvah, with each component complex and pregnant with meaning. The need to take the fruit and give it away, to put it in a dignified basket, and the requirement to bring it all the way to Yerushalayim shows that the mitzvah isn't about giving fruit to a Kohen, but about putting effort into one's service of God. This lesson extends past Bikurim, the first fruits, and to all mitzvot. The process, effort, and each part are integral to the mitzvah's observance. All too often, mitzvot are viewed as tasks to complete and not endeavors to improve a person. To be improved by mitzvot, a person must put maximum effort in the performance of their mitzvos. There's no to-do list of mitzvot. The performance of a mitzvah is something to be cherished. This is the lesson of the first fruits. It's an important lesson for us in all the mitzvos that we accomplish and observe. Shabbat Shalom.